Okay, welcome, welcome, welcome. It is the week of the equinox. If you are in the north, that's the fall equinox, and if you're in the southern hemisphere, that is the spring equinox. In either case, it is a balancing of energies. It's a great time to do a reading, personal and collective. So this video is going to be a collective reading for everybody. So it's general about the energies that are coming in through this very potent time. There are really four main timing clocks of the year, and that's the equinoxes and the solstices. So those are kind of like the chakra points, if you will, for life force to come in at a greater degree. They are dilated, you could say, on these dates, and depending on it's the way that the light is shining on us, right? And we're getting equal light and dark on the equinoxes. So there's a balancing of polarities where the solstices are going to tip one direction or another, so we get the polarities, right? So balancing the dualities is very much akin to doing that in our own body. It's a great time to integrate and awaken to a deeper capacity. So let's see what the cards want to tell us about. I'm in kind of a weird table here. I'm trying to figure out how to best do these readings on the video. And if you guys like readings, I'm sort of playing with the idea of doing them regularly. I know there's a lot of people doing that out there, so I'm just trying to find what is really wanted and the niche is not being covered. This one, ooh, the Devil card. This one wants to come, Two of Pentacles. And I think it's this one, Ace of Cups. So this kind of makes sense. It's almost like balancing love with addiction, balancing emotional fulfillment with some sort of, I want to say, manipulation or something that is maybe just, again, the addiction, the fulfillment, that's false fulfillment. Interesting though, it's balancing those, and we have very clearly the Two of Pentacles. So this is in our world. There is some attempt to balance forces. This feels very innocent, right? The Ace of Cups is new love, is new and brand new experiences of love and emotional fulfillment. Where look at this guy, he's on fire, it's dark, he's chained up. You get the feeling he's been doing this for a while. Capricornian energy, which rules time. The father, the structure, almost like what you've been chained to. There is a need during this equinox from these cards to balance the new, fresh energy of love with what's already here and even has become a habit. And it can feel like a burdensome one, but the Devil card also just rules the shadow self, like becoming aware of what our shadow is, becoming aware of where we may dip into that side of self, or what are the underworkings going on behind. We listen for those voices that come in and talk or want to speak through our mouth. We look at, where we're overindulging or indulging. And the equinox is even to take away the word over, I'm hearing, to really like indulge and then dip your toe in. Of course, in the card, you can see the hand is holding the water, and it's like more than will stay in the hand. It's overflowing, right? So one could say even there's an overindulgence, or there's more than one can handle in both places, but this is looked at as a blessing, and sometimes the Devil card's looked at as a curse. And this is such a brilliant life force management reading, because the trick is in the balancing point. It isn't really in eradicating this one, because then the universe is off balance. And I know some would argue with me, but this is very alchemical understanding, is there is an equal balancing that keeps things in order. And why Capricorn is associated with this card and the Devil, that there is some order that needs to be maintained, at least in duality, okay? at least in a dualistic reality, and perhaps even to go beyond that. But let's look at the Gateway of Light activation cards. We are blessing these cards for speaking directly from source. This one wants to come out. Third eye activation for this equinox, for the collective, and it's this one, Venetian Galactic Council. So the Venetian Galactic Council, I mean, I just heard love really strongly, but it says answering the call. What I know of the Venetians is art and music and poetry, and we see like the sort of pinkish and white, like love tones, that high heart energy where you're answering the call in yourself. Okay, that's a very heart-centered energy. And then we have the third eye activation, which is a very, up here energy. So we could say those are also two things that are being balanced out. This could be the heart and this can be the mind, the overthinking. I know it's not the swords, but there is an element with the devil where it can be the devil in the mind or the devil in the details, right? The flip side is being in the third eye and being like the aware witness. So a danger maybe of Ace of Cups could even be a naivety with love, or like getting caught up in the newness of it and this overexcitement. The dove is here reminding like to have peace, and even this cross that's here makes me think of the runes Gabo, which is an X, a perfect X that sideways is a cross that talks about a gift. It is the gift. So there's a gift being given. That's a balancing. We're going to go ahead and just pull from the runes and see what the runes want to enlighten us about this balancing that's going on. Okay, this is a new energy. I've got this, excuse me, little gnat or something. This is very encouraging. Fehu is the beginning rune. So just like an ace is the beginning, it's starting. It's also speaking of abundance and prosperity and physical land. It could be thought of as a combination of Ace of Cups and Ace of Pentacles, because there is wealth and newness, but there's also like the very beginner mind sort of energy too, that's innocent and can be naive. And then we have Ing. This is a very masculine rune. This is associated with the masculine seed, or even the ejaculate, the energy of seeding reality, seeding the new, like being full of potentiality, ready to spring and jump. So some might think, okay, that energy has been misconstrued in our collective reality. The sexual energy has been skewed toward maybe this devil card, where it's feeling like that's being misused, or there's an addiction like porn, or some of the darker like underbelly that you might see in this card in reality that's trying to be uncovered and so forth at this time. So what I see from the runes, and I want to pull a few more because this is telling me there's 3 also here in the axis, but this is a new beginning even for the masculine energy. This is a new outlook on life force, because Ing is life, coming from the ancestors Otella, and this is the breakthrough energy, the Thor Saz, which is equated with Thor's hammer. And this one's Otella. It looks like the fish that you see, that it's associated with Christ consciousness, Christ energy. This is the divine inheritance that is rightfully ours. And I see that love is part of that, and the Venetian wisdom, which is also divine feminine. So you could say the divine feminine, the divine holy Sophia Christ is guiding in like a rebirthing of the masculine, and it takes both polarities to do that. Oh wow, so I'm getting the information like, hey, even though things look really dark on the planet right now, it's actually orchestrated this way on purpose, because the only way to birth the new reality is to get an equal measure of light and dark that has the potentiality. Now, if you've been watching the Biology of Kundalini books, the last video that I did before this one, and it wasn't yesterday because yesterday I recorded and then my alarm went off right in the middle and it just stopped the recording and it messed me up and I had to go to a session. So I just didn't upload it yesterday, but I think it's part 34 where it's talking about nerve responses, I think. But it was speaking about that there is a balancing. Okay, so polarities in the cells or in the neurons are kept apart, and that there's potentiality in the positive and negative being held apart. There's energy there, potential energy, but it's not as powerful. That's the voltage. It's not as powerful as the current when the energies combine in equal measure. The equal measure of the cell charges, or the chemical reaction of positive with a negative in equal balance, actually creates the current of energy, the life force energy that goes and makes all the functions happen in the body and delivers the nutrients and sends the messages and so forth. But they're only being held in chemical separation in our cells with membranes in between on purpose, because we want to use them later. Like we store them and then we want to use them. They want to be there. So that's potential energy, but how much energy is released upon their coming together is so this. I'm feeling like the birthing of a new reality, which also feels like the birthing of a new masculine, which I think a lot of us could feel really excited about that, especially in my community. I'm aware that this is a big conversation, and I mean, we see it everywhere. And many of you men are ahead of the time, especially if you're watching. You are part of the awakened masculine. You are part of the ones leading the way. But this indicates to me a greater awakening, a deeper awakening that's kind of had to go through some of the tough layers to get there, some of the painful, like the needful breaking apart of that membrane or that veil has not been so easily drawn, let's say, for some. But there has been star being assistance. There has been, and that also means that aspect of many of us has been activated where we have a remembering. That's also what I would say is star being information unlocked in many souls here for that purpose, to help raise the frequency and connect in with the divine inheritance of love. And it does take a balancing of the light and the dark. So the upheaval that we've seen of the negative, you could say, agenda or storyline or whatever you want to call it, truth, conspiracy, like that energy is also, though maybe hidden to some, or not so hidden to others. A lot are seeing good things happening too. That's coming out in equal measure at this time, this week, so that this alchemical reaction can happen where there is the seed springs forward. And because it's it may be like you're not going to maybe notice it right away, okay? And maybe there's still under the surface, because this is in the underneath position, the subconscious mind is being kind of like worked and massaged and open to these ideas, which ultimately are, this is a successful energy. Thurisaz is successful, it's victorious, but you may have to endure a moment of discomfort to get there. And because we have a beginning and an end here, this is like an actual occurrence, is how it feels. It's bringing together the infinity, the beginning and the end, but it even feels like there's this specific, they're showing me like almost like a ray of light or a beam, kind of like the sunbeam coming through this picture. And so you could imagine this is the opening on the equinox, that it just like dilates open like a stargate, like you see around here. And it's always been pulsing something through it, or an awareness through it, and it will open at certain other times of the year, little times at the in between points, and specific times of eclipses and other planetary alignments. We get a kind of buzz, but during these equinoxes we get specifically a wide, clear opening. So if you can imagine this portal opening and this love, this awareness of love and balance and harmony between polarities comes beaming through and just encodes humanity, encodes, like saturates the planet. And it does it whether you are aware of it or not, but if you are aware of it, that activates awareness molecules, like actually consciousness molecules in your tissues. And that is part of what is your awakening. Like how much of that is activated determines your level of awareness. And so yes, things can be supplemented to assist, and also reading materials or experiential meditation, yoga and spiritual practices and so forth, and also these cosmic rays, beams, blessings, this raining down, this showering us. And it's showing me like it's intermingling with the smoke screen, and it's making the smoke screen make more sense, let's say. Okay, so one thing I love to do on Sundays, and I'm especially excited about this today with you on the equinox week, is to do a little cardology, cards of destiny. And if you are unfamiliar with that, it's using the regular 52 card playing cards deck, which actually was the original divination. Let me see, I've got the playing cards. And the order is the order of the Magi. So the 52 cards correlate with 52 weeks in the year. They correlate with the planets. So every 52 days, there is a shift in planetary emphasis. And so every single person on your birthday, you have a specific card, which is your birth card. You have a planetary ruler, and you have a personality card. These stay the same throughout your life, but every year has a different spread. And then every week we can pull cards to see how that's affecting you. But right now I'm going to pull a collective cards of destiny read. Okay, so there's a specific way to shuffle these cards so as to get the imprint of the now and be able to read the now the most accurately. And of course we are also wanting to read for this entire week of the equinox on planet Earth, and asking for the cards to show the movement of the planets and energies this week. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and just scoot the runes over so I can make way for these. I'll just go over the top. So we're going to go ahead and start with Monday. So today's Sunday, so we're going to Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Okay. And we'll read all these in just a moment. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Then we have the Pluto card, which you can't see. The long range card, okay, long range Pluto, and the result card, and an environment card. So I'll show you all of these. Wow, we've got a lot of aces. Actually, we have all 4 aces. So that really does speak to a new cycle. That really does speak to a new cycle. So you can't see the environment card, but it's probably the most important card because it is what's lending energy to the entire week, and it's a Six of Diamonds. This is like a Six of Pentacles energy. And I've been watching a lot of readers online, and I'm really seeing a lot of Six of Pentacles coming up right now in people's readings. So this is, sixes are always like a fated event. So there's something fated, especially since we see the Ace of Spades. That is the card of the entire deck. You'll notice most card decks will have in the Ace of Spades all the other card symbols. This one, I just noticed, doesn't have it. But we've got Ace of Clubs, Ace of Hearts, Ace of Diamonds, and Ace of Diamonds is in the result position. So the result is a new reality. Ace of Pentacles is Ace of Diamonds. So it is the result of a new reality with Nine of Hearts as our Pluto card. That's the challenge for the week. That is some endings in love. That is some endings, but it's also an opportunity for a beginning in love too. It's not quite the same as a Nine of Cups, which is, very emotionally fulfilling. Nine of Hearts can be emotionally fulfilling if you're not attached to the fact that it is the ending and the beginning of, it's the detachment, or you could also say it's the unconditional love, which is a beautiful thing too. And then the long-term card for the week is Four of Spades. The Spades is the mental suit. No, the Wands. It's the Wands, sorry. Is that right? Clubs is mind, is swords. Yeah. Spades is the Wand. So this is really like a happy home. This is stability, okay, in life force energy. So we have a new reality that's stable, that is unconditional love that's faded, and it's meant for this time. It really looks like a new structure is taking place over the old. So let's look at each day. And we have, today is the 18th, so 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. It's the 22, 23 where the actual equinox energy comes in, and as we'll see on the 22nd, we have two aces and a two of diamonds. This is significantly powerful, followed by a king of diamonds. So there is a significant up-leveling happening with that equinox energy. That's a brand new vibe. It's magical. This is the card of fate and magic and surprises and transformation. It's very Plutonian. And then the Ace of Clubs is also like a new idea, a new thought, a new way of looking that brings, and two of diamonds is a partnership. It is that union that the ace is looking to have. The two of pentacles is actually the two of diamonds. So there again, that is that same energy that we already got, and same with, we've got the same energy underneath as on top. So that's beautiful. So let's look at Monday. Monday has a Jack of Hearts. Jack of Hearts is the Christ card of the deck. It's the card of sacrifice, personal sacrifice. Seven of Hearts is actually the unconditional love card, even though Nine of Hearts has that energy, like if you can let it go and be unconditional loving, then you can have the new love. But Seven of Hearts can be disappointments, again, but it's a spiritual love that wants to come in. And with the King of Spades, this is the mastery card. So for those of you who've been working on your spiritual nature, probably if you're watching this, you have been, this week marks a journey of like very deep self-mastery, especially around unconditional love. Look at Tuesday. This is my card. I'm a 10 of Hearts, December 21st. That is a love of people, a great love in crowds. That's just loving, having love all around. And then King again, two kings in a row. The King of Clubs is a masterful creator energy that is mastering the mind, clubs are very artistic cards. So there is a mastery of the arts that can happen here. 9 of diamonds, I keep trying to relate them to the tarot, but they also have their own energies. So I want to honor that as well. The 9 of diamonds is a very abundant card in the diamond suit, but it also has the 9s again. So there's a change or an ending to a certain way of funds coming in, maybe because there's a new idea that's way more expansive of the heart, since we have that Ace of Cups, and then the very next day is the Ace of Cups or the Ace of Hearts. So this is Wednesday. That portal starts to open even before Thursday with the Ace of Hearts. Since we saw the Ace of Cups, we know that is true. So notice Wednesday it begins, and 8 of Spades, oh, it couldn't be luckier. Like, it's really, really like a fabulous energy. That is, spades are always spiritual, and they're your health, and they are work too, but it's like your spiritual work. It's like your purpose. And the 8 is you're right on purpose. You're in line. It's blessed. It's in alignment. And since 7 of diamonds, this is a spiritual card. It can indicate, again, with the 7, either like losing the old way around money, but it's also the millionaire card. So a new frequency of money coming in. I've been seeing this a lot for this coming energy. So then Thursday, again, 2 aces. This is the magical portal opening with the 2 of Pentacles or 2 of diamonds in the middle. The balancing energy comes in. It's full of magic. Then we have on Friday, on the 23rd, a King of Diamonds energy with a 5 of Hearts. So there's some change in the way we experience love. And the reality is completely transformed with a mastery around the physical plane. And then a 6 of Clubs is really a fated and very intuitive, the most intuitive actually energy of the entire deck of cards, 6 of Clubs. So look for a change. It's really like a change in reality. Like, people are going to be more intuitive with this equinox because of the balance of the masculine and feminine. And yet King of Diamonds is there, which is like King of Pentacles. So they're like the most intuitive and they're the most blessed in the physical. Like, that is a change. That is a change. And then come the weekend time, we've got 4 of Diamonds, which is security in financial and physical world. We've got 5 of Spades, which is, it's a change. It's a change in your work. It could be travel. It could be just like deciding to do things differently. And then the Queen of Hearts is the Mother card. So look again, we have balance at home and in the heart. And that's an inspiration to change something. So on the weekend, maybe it's a good time to go for a journey. Maybe call your mom or see your mom. Or if you are a mom, to nurture that part of yourself. But it's definitely like resources are there to do things that are loving to self and loving to others, because Queen of Hearts is also loving others. And then Sunday, the energy, look at the 3s. 3 of Diamonds can be very indecisive or can have several different things going on. 3 of Spades too can be like jugglers of ideas or work. So there could be a couple of different ideas. With 10 of Clubs, this is very successful with groups, especially with, ideas and mental stuff. Intuitive arts have great ability to gather on Sunday or to reach each other or have successful endeavors. This is that energy starting to take a foot in this reality and start to move forward. So what a cool reading. That is the reading. Let me get the main advice for the collective, and then if you would like to schedule a personal reading for the week, you can definitely do that with me by just emailing me stasiabliss@gmail.com. What is the advice? It's not this one. Ooh, You want to get a Divinity Quest guidance card. Okay, these are from one of my mentors, Almeen, and they are very deep. So let's see what the guidance is for this Equinox week from 2022 from Almeen, and it's number 48. The mythical language on it says Akvi Prihatur Mines, card 48, which is a 12, which is also a 3. Our romance with life is stirred by the poetry lurking beyond form. Our aware appreciation of the graceful dance of relationship and the eternal song of praise of the unique notes contributed by the diverse life forms. Sorry, I shouldn't have paused at that moment. Our romance with life is stirred by the poetry lurking beyond form. Our aware appreciation of the graceful dance of relationship and the eternal song of praise of the unique notes contributed by the diverse life forms. It sounds like a romance story with two parts coming together. That is listening, experiencing the poetry of life, and also being grateful for it. So coming back to the devil balancing with the Ace of Cups, you know, sometimes those addictions or those guilty pleasures, so to speak, are just beautiful poetry that you enjoy, that relishes your soul, or however you access that realm of inspiration and the muse, because the devil can also bring us access to new inspiration when we're in the throes of it. And then to be grateful. Ace of Cups, Ace of Hearts, grateful energy, especially with the Nine of Hearts here. We definitely want to be grateful, especially for anything we are walking away from, because in the balancing out, that means some things are going to go and some things are going to come in, and we're going to find this beautiful balance place where then, you know, many things can happen. Okay, so be grateful this week, be appreciative, notice the beauty that's all around you, definitely. And then we'll pull one more as the more like masculine advice card. And I'm going to pull from this masculine archetype guidebook, or cards. These are really fun. The guy that makes these, what's his name? He played music for a while, and then I got an email from him and said he was doing a masculine archetype card deck, and so I definitely wanted to give it a try. So what is the other advice card for this week? Maybe even around the masculine. Okay, there it is. And it says Lost Dreamer. And I'm hearing bringing those dreams home. Like not being lost anymore. Realizing the purpose of the lostness was to see the beauty, like to have the romance with life. Maybe the romance with life is what allows a man to truly love a woman, when he can truly love being with nature. It's beautiful. Okay, thank you for joining me here. I hope you've enjoyed this reading. If you have, I hope you will like it and follow along. I like to do big readings for the collective on the major points, so the solstices and the equinoxes, so I don't really do them all the time. I've been considering, but I really would prefer to do a private reading with you whenever you need one. So those are when the most amazing things come through. So you can send me a message, stageofbliss@gmail.com, and book yours this week. They're always done by donation. We can do them via Zoom or a text app where you get the image as well as an audio recording of the interpretation. Both you get recordings of and you can listen to over and over again. And yeah, I hope that you'll book. All right, we'll see you soon.